She stormed into the Ferrari dealership like she owned the entire building, her high heels striking the polished floor so loud that even the sales team stopped mid-sentence and turned their heads. Customers froze, too, their eyes following her as she pointed at the bright red Ferrari under the spotlight and snapped like a queen giving orders. "I'll take that one, but only for 6 months. Put it on lease." The room went silent for a second, the staff exchanging confused looks because Ferraris don't go on short-term leases, not in the way she was demanding. One salesman, trying to remain professional, stepped forward and asked politely, "Ma'am, do you mean a test drive appointment?" Her eyes narrowed sharply. "No, 6 months, a lease, and you'll do it because I know the owner of this company." Her voice rose so everyone could hear, confidence dripping from every word. The tension in the air grew heavier as the nearby customers pretended to browse but were clearly watching every second. I stood just a few feet away, my arms crossed, hiding my smirk. She wasn't just anyone. This was Karen, the same woman who had plastered fake HOA notices on my door weeks ago, threatening me with eviction when she had no authority at all. She had tried to bully me in my own neighborhood, and now here she was, stomping into my territory again, trying to bully her way into a Ferrari she couldn't even afford. The manager came over, calm but firm. "Ma'am, Ferraris aren't leased like that. Ownership is required." Karen's face flushed red as she snapped, "Do you know who I am? I'll have your job for this." That's when I finally let out a chuckle loud enough for her to hear. She spun around, her eyes locking on me, and her jaw dropped. She wasn't ready for the truth. Because I wasn't just another customer standing quietly in the showroom, I was the silent partner, the man who actually owned this dealership. Her demand for 6 months was about to turn into the most humiliating 6 minutes of her life. She tried to recover, tossing her hair back and sneering, "Oh, you again. Don't think I've forgotten about your little shack of a house. This place?" She waved dramatically at the gleaming Ferraris lined up under the showroom lights. "Is where people like me belong, not you." The salesman shifted uncomfortably, but I stayed calm. "Funny thing, Karen," I said slowly, letting the silence stretch. "You're standing in my building, demanding a car from my dealership." The whole room froze, even the receptionist's fingers stopping mid-typing. Karen forced out a nervous laugh. "Don't be ridiculous. I know the owner personally, a powerful man who promised me anything I wanted." She stomped her heel like a child trying to prove authority. I stepped closer and lowered my voice just enough to carry but still let the crowd lean in. "That powerful man you're talking about? You're looking at him." Her smirk cracked. She tried to hold on, but the panic was already in her eyes. She doubled down, pulling out her phone. "Oh, really? If you're the owner, prove it. Otherwise, I'll call the police right now for fraud." Her fingers trembled as she dialed, but her arrogance wouldn't let her stop. "Yes, officer," she said loudly into the phone, making sure the whole room could hear. "There's a fraud happening here. A man pretending to own this dealership. Come quickly before he escapes." The crowd stirred, whispers rippling. Some were annoyed by her arrogance, others secretly thrilled to witness the drama unfold. I stayed perfectly still, arms folded, watching her bury herself. Minutes later, sirens wailed outside, red and blue lights reflecting against the glass showroom windows. Karen straightened up like royalty waiting for her guards. "Now you'll pay," she hissed, smirking at me. The glass doors slid open, and 2 uniformed officers stepped inside. Karen cut off the manager and pointed directly at me. "That's him. Arrest him immediately." Every eye turned toward me, but instead of moving, one officer nodded respectfully. "Good afternoon, sir." Karen blinked in shock. "What are you waiting for? Arrest him." The taller officer stepped forward, voice firm. "Ma'am, that is the owner, and he's also a decorated veteran. Maybe you should calm down before you say anything else you regret." Her jaw dropped so hard you could almost hear it hit the floor. Phones came out, recording, capturing her unraveling. But the sting hadn't even begun, because the second officer pulled out a folder already prepared. "Funny thing, he said, holding it up. "We've been investigating reports of someone posting fake HOA notices in this area. The description matches you perfectly." Karen's phone slipped from her hand, clattering onto the showroom floor. Gasps erupted, customers leaning in like they were front row at a play. She stammered, desperate. "This is a mistake. I was protecting the community. Those notices were guidelines." The officer shook his head. "Community guidelines don't come with forged county stamps. That's fraud." The whispers grew louder, laughter bubbling up from a teenager in the back who muttered, "She's finished." Karen's eyes darted wildly, but no one stepped forward to support her. Not a single ally. She turned back to me, voice cracking. You set this up. You think you're powerful because you own this place? You're nothing without your money." I leaned closer so the whole crowd could hear. "No, Karen. I'm something because I fought for my country. I worked for what I own, and unlike you, I don't need to lie to feel important." Her lip trembled, but she shouted, "Fine, I'll sue all of you. I'll take this dealership down in court." The officer smirked and handed me another paper. "Actually, sir, here's the court order you requested. She's officially banned from this property for harassment and fraud." The crowd gasped, Karen stumbling back as her false confidence crumbled. She had come to demand a Ferrari, but instead, she was barred from even stepping foot inside. The teenager lifted his phone high. "Too late, lady. Already live on TikTok." Laughter exploded through the showroom. Karen lunged forward, but the officer blocked her. "Enough. You're done here." I stepped forward calmly. "Karen, you demanded a Ferrari like it was a rental scooter. You called the cops on the actual owner. And now the whole world will watch your tantrum on repeat." The officers escorted her outside, where the nightmare got worse. A crowd had gathered around the flashing police lights, and whispers spread like wildfire. People recognized her from the HOA drama in the neighborhood. She rushed to her car, a dented white SUV parked illegally across two handicapped spots, just as a tow truck pulled up. The driver grinned. "Got a call about this one. Double violation." Karen panicked, spreading her arms in front of her car. "No, that's my vehicle. You can't take it." The officer crossed his arms. "No, ma'am. This is called consequences. You've got unpaid tickets and the DMV cleared it. That car is leaving today." The crowd cheered as chains clinked and her SUV lifted into the air. Her screams turned shrill. "You can't do this. I have rights." I stepped into the sunlight, my voice calm but sharp. "You're right, Karen. You do have rights, but not the right to lie, harass, or pretend the world belongs to you. That ends now." She spun toward me, her makeup streaking, her voice cracking. "I'll ruin you." But her threats were drowned out by the sound of chains tightening and her SUV being dragged away. The crowd clapped, phones capturing every second. Karen stood frozen on the curb, realizing her empire of entitlement had collapsed in front of everyone. The officer called out, "Ma'am, don't leave yet. You've got paperwork." I handed her an envelope. Civil lawsuit, harassment, trespassing, and fraud. Every fake HOA notice is documented, and now it's going to court. She dropped it like it burned. "You can't." "Oh, I can." I cut her off. "And the county's already watching. This isn't about Ferraris anymore. It's about consequences." The crowd erupted in applause as Karen stumbled back, pale and trembling, the last scraps of her false power crumbling into dust. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun HOA Whisperers.